Israel have a right to use Palestinians as human shield, as was reported in Haaretz? Are you aware of that report?
I've seen that report. I've seen
that report. Any comment on that report? Is there any way for you to confirm it?
I've seen that report, Said. They are these reports, they are disturbing, and we would urge Israel to immediately and transparently investigate these allegations and hold any potential perpetrators accountable. Israel has a responsibility to comply with its obligations under international humanitarian law, but I also just want to stress, Said, that they are just reports at this point, and that is why we would encourage Israel to look into what's going on.
All right. Well, you know, many of these weapons used were actually designed as bunker busters in Afghanistan, but that's another issue. Let me ask you something. The president said that he expects Iran to hold off on an Israeli attack if Gaza ceasefire is reached. How did the president arrive at this, or how did the government arrive at this? Through direct negotiations? Has there been like a promise by the Iranians, if you guys go effectuate a ceasefire, then we are not going to attack?
I don't have anything else to offer on the president's comment, Said, beyond just saying that getting a ceasefire deal is of vital importance to the region. It could help release the hostages, including the remaining American citizens. It could create the conditions for an increased influx of humanitarian aid, and more importantly, it will help get this region out of these endless cycles of violence that we keep finding ourselves talking about.
Yeah, on the talks, my final topic, where Jennifer left off on the talks. Now, Hamas is saying, look, we're not going, and we already agreed to what was proposed to us back in 31, and so May 31. Now, the Israelis are changing their terms. Are you sure they are not? I mean, the New York Times reports and authenticates that, in fact, Prime Minister Netanyahu has already changed and has added more demands. Is the proposal does it still maintain the same integrity as it was submitted back on May 31?
So, Said, I'm just not going to comment on purported or alleged leaks of documents and on private diplomatic conversations. What I can say is that the ongoing conversations have and continue to have the contours of the plan that President Biden laid out at the end of May that had support from the Arab world, has support from the UN Security Council, has support from allies and partners like NATO and the G7, and that's what we'll continue to remain focused on.
But you would agree that if the proposal was changed, then
I'm just not going to get into the specifics of the process, Said. Thank you. Alex, go ahead.
Quickly on Oscar.
Yeah, just, actually, where Sean left off on the weapons. Mm-hmm. I mean, you're saying that Israel's right to defend itself. We're talking about $20 billion on top of $3.5 billion last week or the week before. It's, paid for by American taxpayers. And that's larger than many, many countries, maybe 70% of all countries in the world. I don't know, I'm not an expert. To be used against defenseless people. Can't you tell the Israelis that they should not lower down the amount of damage, but they should not be bombing the places like Tabain School or UNRWA schools or hospitals and so on? Can you tell them that you must not
In every engagement side, we stress the importance and the strategic and moral imperative our partners in Israel have to minimize impacts on civilians and to minimize civilian casualties. That being said, Israel absolutely has every right to defend itself. It has every right to hold to account the terrorist actors of Hamas that undertook the horrific October 7th terrorist attack. And Israel has also every right to defend itself from other malign actors in the region, whether it be Iran, whether it be Hezbollah or the Houthis or otherwise.
Does it